27. I'm not trying mega hard. It's 28. 29. Woo, it's a fast bike, this. 30. Jeez.
This is the Heybike EC1, a super sleek commuting e-bike that looks absolutely stunning, and as you'll find out later, is really very fast for a 250 watt legal e-bike, and in more ways than one.
I'm riding with no power for a bit, just to see how it is right at the start, and I do end up going up a bit of a hill. I'm a little bit out of breath. It's not terrible. It's only got 7 gears, but this first gear is quite easy. I'm going a decent speed. According to the GPS, 11. So let's turn on the bike now. I'm in pedal assist 1. So if I just try and put no effort in, a bit of a flood down there. Sewage, I think. Ugh. Right, okay, I'm going about 9 to 10 miles an hour. Confirmed by the GPS, that's good. Pedal assist 2. Oh, felt that. About 11.3 miles an hour. Pedal assist 3. Now this is a 250 watt bike. It's meant to be fully legal, so it should only go to 15.5. I'm going 16.5. I'm going 17. I'm going 18. I'm going 19. I'm going what? What? I'm going 20. What the? And it felt good with it. Whoa. Now, as always, we're on our way to the hill climb first. Get that out of the way. This bike has no throttle. Like I say, it's meant to be a legal configuration. You can delve into the computer settings, and there's a lot of settings. I've already changed it from kilometers to miles per hour, which is obviously what we use here in the UK. And there's loads of other stuff as well. There's a potty on the floor. There's a... Oh, no. It's definitely sort of a kind of a hybrid style bike, so not really a mountain bike style. The tyres are a bit thinner. They've got road tread, and it's not for off-road. It's definitely for your commute. Good time to talk about the gears. They are Shimano Tawny, kind of the entry-level Shimano gears, which are on a lot of e-bikes, and generally they're just basically nothing special. They're all right, they do the job.
Unlike many e-bikes that take the illegal route of having a throttle, the EC1 doesn't have one. This can be a nightmare if you're trying to get away from a standstill, especially if you're in the wrong gear. But luckily, the EC1 has a trick up its sleeve.
As soon as you start pedaling, the pedal assist just kicks in. Some bikes, you start pedaling and you can count to like 4 until you start going, but straight up, go, like it. That's how it should be.
First impressions of the EC1 were so far so good, but I'm yet to ride a perfect bike, and this was no exception.
Well, I'll tell you what I just did, which is really annoying. I'll try and replicate later. Is that when I turn the wheel, like a bit sharper than normal, my foot hits the mudguard. Let's say I'm here. Let's say I'm going quite slow, and I want to go on the curve. So, oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see that there is a bit too close, so now I need to kind of pull it away, and then we don't want the other side to get too close, but it's all right now. The saddle, I mean, I haven't gone very far. Done about 2 miles, I can already feel the saddle's a bit hard. Might want to change that. Part of that though is the bike doesn't have suspension. Now, if you watched my videos before, you'll know that when a bike's got adjustable suspension, on this part of the review I'm always turning it off anyway. I don't really want it on. Quite often as well, the tyres are fat tyres and they soak up a lot of the bumps anyway, so I can feel the bumps, but it's generally okay. It's as you'd expect from this kind of bike. I don't think I'd want suspension on this kind of bike. I'm not going to take it off road. You can at a pinch, at a pinch, if you really want to. So I took it on gravel and it was fine, but yeah, you wouldn't want to take it on muddy stuff. Now there's actually a voltage readout on the screen. The battery's a 36 volt battery, but when fully charged they've always got a bit more, and it was reading about 41 or something at the start. and it's down to 37.4. The capacity of the battery is 10 amp hours, so if it's 36 volts, it's got a capacity of 360 watt hours, which means apparently a range of 100 kilometers. They always say that. Do they always say that? Range 100 kilometers. What's the range of your bike? 100 kilometers. They won't get it, but who knows? Let's just say it's 100. I can get it if I turn it off and go 100 kilometers. That's the thing about e-bikes. It's like any bike can get anything as long as you do all the work. So it's like, yeah, if you weigh 20 kilograms and do all the work, it's got a 1,000-mile range.
Unlike some e-bikes of this size, the battery is easily removable, meaning you won't have to lug the bike around in order to charge it. You can take the battery to your charge point, wherever that may be. It also means you can take the battery into the office, so bike thieves won't have access to that, and you can also get in a sneaky little charge. It's a really nice feature, as many e-bikes that look like normal bikes have a non-removable battery.
Right, hill climb, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, and it kicks in straight away. It is good, that is. I'm not helping. My legs have got to go around to keep it going. It's a very nice looking bike, this is. It looks just like a normal bike. There is a visible battery. Unlike the H500 Pro we reviewed before, you can take the battery out so you can charge it in your house. Or if you have to keep the bike outside, you can keep the battery nice and warm, which is handy. Or you can charge it outside of your house if you're scared. Right, anyway, we're stopping, and it's dead at the, I'm going to say the factory. Yeah, I don't want to stress it too much, but it got to the factory. And as usual, whoa, I'll carry on up the hill with just me. So let's go. Ugh. Just for reference, I'm going to turn the power off now. So I'm going up the hill with help. It's not too bad, 7 miles an hour. I can do this, but if I turn it off, oh dear. Oh, why don't I do this? I should do this, shouldn't I? Whoa, I'm in gear 1. I'm going 4 miles an hour. Let's put it back on again. And then I can go again. It does make a hell of a difference, even though it's 250 watts, which is obviously the low end. By the way, I think it's secretly, well, I say secretly, the motor can take a continuous 350 watts, I think. And obviously, the power going through it is never going to be as low as 250 watts. It'll always peak higher than that. But they're allowed to just say it's 250 watts, like classified as it. It's a weird system, doesn't make much sense. I'm kind of glad it doesn't make much sense, because it means you can get away with having more powerful e-bikes masquerading as 250 watts. Are you going to let me go? Yeah, you are, because I'm looking right at you.
With 37 Newton meters of torque, it's fair to say that we shouldn't expect too much from the hill climb test. And with a 250 watt motor, you also wouldn't expect much of a top speed. But with the bike easily able to get my 100 kilograms to about 20 miles per hour without breaking a sweat, how fast could it go if I broke a sweat?
But I'm going 26, 27. I'm not trying mega hard. It's 28, 29. Woo, it's a fast bike, this. 30, jeez, it's all right. Oh, and then the car pulled out. I had to slow down, but 30 miles an hour, bloody hell, that's impressive. So the motor seems really good, getting you up to 30, good acceleration. As I said, there's loads of options in the computer. You can actually adjust the sensitivity on the pedal assist, which is look good because it's meant to have an app, and I was going to put the app on the phone so I could see what I could do with it, but right now the app's closed down. So I got a little message saying when the app creator enables it, you'll get a message or something. So at the moment the app doesn't work, However, oh, it stinks right here. The app's not that good. They never are that good. Tell you how fast you're going, which the computer does anyway. Sometimes you can change the pedal assist. Pointless. It's all stuff you can do here, and like I say, the computer has got loads of options on it, more than most bikes. I would say the computer is functional. It's not pretty, it's just LCD, so it's kind of old-fashioned, but as you're cycling through each option, let's just see if I can see this. I might just pull over now. You can see the words pop up as you go through. Press the middle button to cycle through. It's kind of like a Tamagotchi. Whoa, bit of a skid. Jeez, wasn't ready for that. Don't do it. Wait. One of these days. But I am noticing, because the tyres are thinner than usual, it does have a tendency to skid. Because obviously the brakes are really good, hydraulic brakes, but the tyres in this wet weather, well, mildly moist or whatever, don't seem to have the best grip. That's just, I wouldn't want to skid the front. That would kind of scare me. But I like this bike. Oh, something about the brakes actually. Woo-wee. Because it's got this, like, the extra bit, because they're hydraulic. The handles, they need like an extra bit for the hydraulics, and that gets in the way of the gear lever. So when you're putting it together, I was like, what? Where's that? Is that meant to go there? Do I need to move it away? But then I can't reach it. So they're kind of next to each other, and the gear lever is kind of tilted. It looks a bit odd. It's okay though. Just looks a bit weird. It's got a bell, which I've also put a bit further away. Let's get to 20 and right lamppost. That really wants to skid. Yeah, it felt like the back was coming out then. Right lamppost.
So yes, no bike is perfect, especially in the budget category. The hard saddle, road tyres that skid in the wet, and mudguards that need more adjusting than usual aren't the biggest of problems and are easily fixed or avoided. For the price, I have to say I'm impressed.
It's a really nice commuter e-bike. I say that a lot, but it is. I love that it's so fast. Like mechanically fast itself. It's a well-made bike. There's not like welds everywhere. It looks so sleek. I hated putting it together. It's not a deal breaker, because most people just have to put one bike together, and when you're going to put one bike together it's fine, but when you end up having to do a few, you want it to be as easy as possible. And the handlebars were not connected, but also the brakes weren't connected to the handlebars, and I had that issue I talked about. Also, the way you had to connect it, the screen and the light were getting in the way, so I'd highly recommend taking off the screen and the light. I didn't. I just kind of stuck to it. So take off the screen and the light first, put it on, make sure the left brake is able to reach where it needs to be, and once you've got it where you need it, then put the screen and the thing back on. It's got hook washers, but apparently no hole for it to go in. So what is the point of the hook?
Despite the issues I had putting it together, it really wasn't that bad, and the bike was really well packed and protected. In the box you get
manual and tools, 2.5 amp charger with non-UK plug, pedals, saddle, a wheel, and a mudguard. Right, hopefully you don't suddenly go red, because then the car's going to come at me. Oh, bloody hell. Right, there's no one coming, that's alright. Yeah, it just feels fast. Despite the tiny motor, it's a really fast bike. And you can definitely feel like you're really helping out, which is handy, especially in terms of like saving battery. So even if you're running out of battery, you can push it down on a lower power assist, and still go pretty quick. I like it. For the package that you get, for the high quality frame, light frame as well. I think it's 19.2 kilograms, it's light. Doesn't feel like you're carrying around a tank, which it often does. It's just your perfect getting through town bike. Fast, sleek, quiet. I won't say you wouldn't be a target because it's a damn nice looking bike. I've had other bikes which are 250 watt. They look like normal bikes, like for example the Bodywell. But the Bodywell doesn't look that pretty. This looks really pretty. And I think if someone saw it, they might be like, oh, that looks nice. But they might not necessarily think, oh, that looks, oh, it's a really expensive e-bike. So you've got that. And obviously, being a legal e-bike, you don't have to worry about getting pulled over or anything like that. There's no throttle to worry about. But then it's really handy that when you want to push it, you can put it into 7th gear and get up to 30 miles an hour. And if you've seen a few of my videos, you might have seen me do speed tests at that same point and not got to 30 miles an hour on much more powerful bikes. I just got the mudguard again. I would say if you're in a place where it doesn't rain that much, or you're not going to go through mud, I'd take the mudguards off. Unless you ride a bike properly, unlike me.
So do I recommend the bike? Well, £1,000 is a lot of money, so what do you get for it? On the surface, you're getting a fantastic looking e-bike that basically looks like a posh hybrid road bike. The bike itself is well constructed and the electrical components also seem good, especially the motor, which definitely punches above its weight. It's fast and efficient, and through the computer comes with a whole lot of options. That removable battery is also a nice feature. The drawbacks, including the uncomfortable saddle and the wobbly mudguards, are easily fixed, but if you need suspension and travel mainly on rough ground, you might want to look elsewhere, as this bike, whilst capable of going off-road, is really at home on smooth surfaces. Remember, it doesn't have fat tyres to smooth out the bumps. The brakes are amazing, but maybe a little too good. Just be careful pulling them in the wet. But overall, it's a fantastic commuter, both in performance and practicality, and the price is a lot less than you'd pay for a bike with similar specs from your usual bike stores. If you are interested, then there is a link in the description to the bike, and you can save an extra £100 on the price using the code EVRC at the checkout. If you do use the link below, you will be helping out this channel and it won't cost you any extra.
If you enjoyed that review and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you did enjoy it. You know, you don't have to subscribe, because now YouTube's just like, you watched him before, you seem to like it, you watched it for a few minutes, so I'll show you his new video even if you haven't subscribed. So if you do see me, feel free to check us out again, and until next time, take care of yourself. Thanks for watching and ride safe.